I've known you for pretty much your entire life, Shane. I pretty much watched you grow up, so I'll just come right out and ask, what were you thinking when you assaulted Charlotte Flair? It's caused quite the mess here in TWFC.
Isn't it obvious what I was thinking? Better yet, don't we always make a big deal about treating the women in this industry as equals? I don't know how good your memory is these days, Jim, but Charlotte decided to strike me first. I simply responded accordingly. Now I'll admit I may have acted out of anger and a sudden display of rage, if you will, but if you're expecting me to say I regret it or apologize, that's just not going to happen, Jim. You see, this so-called mess, as you refer to it, is exactly what I wanted in the first place. Sure, it's not exactly how I had imagined it, but nonetheless, it's created this situation where two of the biggest names in our industry's history, the McMahons and the Flairs, are intertwined in the biggest story going in TWFC, and I've already accomplished something my father couldn't, and that's transition into modern times, and keep the McMahon name relevant here in this new era. So if you don't mind, Jim, I'd like to take this time to address Ric Flair personally. You know, Rick, I can understand why as a father you are so upset about what happened between me and your daughter. I really can, but you should be thanking me. In 48 hours, I've single-handedly resurrected your dying career. You were fading into irrelevance, being forgotten more and more by the day, and now you have something to fight for again. And deep down, I know your ego is loving every second of this, but I want to make this clear, Rick. It's not 1980 anymore. The 18 staples in your head are nothing compared to how bad this can end up for you. So we can do this however you want. Anytime, any place. It's your call. You've said 1,000 times you want to redo your retirement match, and now's your chance. But just remember, while you're planning your retirement match, you just may be planning your funeral as well. I think you should know by now, but I'll say it again in case you've forgotten. Never underestimate a McMahon. In case you've forgotten, never underestimate a McMahon.
That little punk.
You're watching that interview again, Dad?
Oh, hey, honey, no, I was just, well, I mean...
I'm slowly starting to realize that this isn't even about him putting his hands on me. You like this. This is the perfect excuse for you to try and have one more match.
Come on, Charlotte, that's ridiculous. I've never let anyone disrespect you, and you know it.
So then you're not planning on taking his bait and challenging him to a match?
Well, I mean, I just...
See what I mean?
Come on, Charlotte. Damn it.
We'll keep you updated on the Flair McMahon situation, but just a few moments ago, backstage, this went down. The American Nightmare would catch the Samoan suplex machine slipping and absolutely demolish him with the chair. Look at this right here. We've never seen this vicious side of Cody. Watch what he does to the ankle right there. Samoa Joe was screaming in pain, and Cody Rhodes would send the message that this is the dark side Paul Heyman has brought out of him. He's taking care of Samoa Joe. Now he wants Yoko. In other news, Seth freaking Rollins would barge into Eric Bischoff's office, drop the Money in the Bank briefcase, and say he's not cleared to wrestle, but he doesn't care. He wants Roman Reigns in the Hardcore Championship. Rollins would leave without even waiting for an answer. After coming up short in his TWFC Championship match, Finn Balor says he hasn't been able to get a hold of anybody in the Judgment Day. He says he knows he decided to do the right thing, but he's got an idea. He wants to challenge for the tag titles. And that's when the Lucha Bros would make their presence known and announce they are already in line for a tag title shot. And look who would show up! Matt and Nick, the Young Bucks, here in TWFC. What does this mean for the tag division? Well, I'll explain it to you. The council has decided a tag team championship showcase will take place at TWFC Takeover. More on that soon. But we already know Kurt Angle will defend his world title against Wheeler Yuta, the man who pushed him to the limit just a week ago. And of course, Chad Gable gets the match he asked for against Dean Malenko. Let's check in on that.
Isn't this something? The Iceman getting ready for his return to the ring? Going straight for a championship too, now that's big. Didn't you hold this title back in the day? It should be a walk in the park getting this back around your waist, since all you gotta do is beat a guy you said wasn't ready for championship level competition.
Get out of my face, Chad. You've blown this way out of proportion.
You gonna make me get out of your face, Iceman?
What's going on in here? You two have got to stop this.
I was just telling Dean that until after our match, I think it's best I train somewhere else.
Well, Team Angle seems to have trouble in paradise, but ladies and gentlemen, At Takeover, we know the reigning TWFC Intercontinental Champion Kevin Owens will defend the Intercontinental title. Let's find out who he will defend that title against. The six-man gauntlet match would start off with Evan Bourne drawing number 1. And number 2 would be Big Bad Bronson Reed. Now this is a different type of six-man gauntlet match. All men have to enter before somebody can get the pinfall, and it's sudden death. Beautiful drop kick by Evan Bourne to kick things off. He would use the speed, but the speed would catch up to power when Bronson Reed would catch him for a huge power slam right in the middle of the ring. Entrant number 3, Pac. We haven't seen Pac in so long. It's great to have him here in TWFC. The two little men would gang up, but not for long. A big suplex taking both men out. The number 4th entry, Karrion Kross making his TWFC debut. And boy, did he come in hot right off the bat. The match can't end until all 6 men have entered the ring, so during this choke, a big splash would clear that out. John Cena entering the match at number 5. Only one more man to come. Beautiful super kick from Pac to Karrion Kross. Oh, the attitude adjustment almost went through, but Big Bronson Reed was too big. And making his TWFC debut, the almighty Bobby Lashley. Look at that spine buster to the big man. Pac gets the attitude adjustment out of the ring. Things are breaking down. You would see the big spear from Bobby Lashley, and Karrion Kross would capitalize with the choke from behind. Every competitor was scrambling, trying to find their opening. Evan Bourne would dump both the men out of the ring, and look how he was set up. Just like the man who trained him, Hidden Blade. Can Evan do what Ospreay couldn't? He could. He pinned John Cena and wins the gauntlet match. Evan Bourne is the number 1 contender for the TWFC Intercontinental Championship. He's going to get one more shot at redemption. And look what would happen as he was celebrating face to face with the man he's familiar with, the TWFC Intercontinental Champion and Money in the Bank holder, Kevin Owens. That's our recap, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us during this content week, and we'll be right back.